Hey guys, Luxker here. Welcome to Xeno News, a monthly news series where we'll be talking about news from Xenogears, Xenosaga, and the Xenoblade games. I am Luxker, and I am joined by Yggdrasiel, a pretty niche Xenotuber that does some pretty interesting videos sometimes. How are you doing, Yggdrasiel?
Hey, I'm doing great. Hey everyone, it's Yggdrasiel, and I am so stoked to be back on with Luxker here. It's been some time actually, but I'm more than happy to be back and happy to be discussing Xeno-related content. So, cheers.
Yeah, it's not a tier list this time. No, sorry, we're not doing those for a really long time. It's a bit of a treat though. Just doing one of those. I'm sarcasm, but I'm glad to have you on here, Yggdrasiel. Always wanted to have you on here, and finally have the opportunity to have you here. So fantastic stuff. So.
Absolutely, and thanks for having me back. I always appreciate doing collabs with anyone and everyone, so it's always a treat.
And please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share this video around, and hit that notification bell for more Xeno series content. It helps improve my videos each and every day. So let's go ahead and get started. So, unfortunately, we don't have a Xenogears news right now. There's no really new fact in general that I want to share typically, like I've been for the past few times. Just a little tidbit that I haven't shared yet. But I'm sure we'll get some Xenogears news pretty soon when the Bart figure eventually releases in a few months. So definitely can't wait for that. So let's go ahead and go on to Xenosaga. So it's actually today, as at our time of recording this, it is Xenosaga Episode 2's anniversary. And funny thing to say that because I know this game in particular is a pretty mixed bag in general. Like, a lot of people really like it, some people hate it. It's one of those games that depending on who you talk to, there's different things people talk about and stuff. But personally for me, Xenosaga Episode 2 is kind of a mixed bag. There are some sections that I just do not care for at all, especially some of the dungeons in the game. I can't really stand Orma's Stronghold, or just any of the voice acting sections, and especially disc 2 of Xenosaga Episode 2. That kind of dropped the ball a little bit until the very end of the game. So I really liked a few sections of Xenosaga Episode 2, but overall, I feel like this is kind of the black sheep of the Xeno series in general, and the DS version especially, basically changes up the script to make it the actual definitive version of Xenosaga Episode 2, and I kind of just find it funny that this game exists in general, and for whatever reason, it's seen a renaissance in just positivity in general, which I'm happy about, but I feel like it's kind of unwarranted. What do you think, Yggdrasiel?
Well, first off, that doesn't much raise my confidence because I've only played through part of Xenosaga 1 on my journey. I did start Xenosaga 1 last year and I had to put it on hold for IRL things going on. But overall, I am looking to get back started on that journey, and I've been inching closer and closer to completion and preparing myself for Xenosaga 2. And yeah, all I hear is it's a big mixed bag. The fact that you aren't all too particularly keen on the VA work or dungeon work is it bad to say I've already sort of expected that with how I feel with Xenosaga 1, or Xenosaga 1, I should say. I have not had that gripping moment just yet, I should say, and playing it originally on the PS2 without any form of emulation does not inspire confidence for me just yet, let me say that.
Fair enough.
I am looking forward to seeing what it has, but I don't know how I'll feel about going through it when the time actually comes.
So I will say, I'll give some kind of credit to Xenosaga Episode 2. I'm not hanging on it too much. I like the ES battles in the game. I think it's really inventive. The music in general by Yuki Kajiura is very great. Although Bandai Namco was very sneaky about it, thinking that Yuki Kajiura did the whole entire soundtrack when they got like one of the arcade composers to do most of the gameplay and not cutscene. Well, some cutscene tracks, but they basically gave it to like the arcade composers, and they just feel out of place. So it's a weird mixed bag for sure. And this was around the time when like Monolith Soft was kind of coming to terms with Bandai Namco handling Xenosaga in general. So yeah, it's a game, but it's a game that really like lives on in the memories of Xeno fans who've played it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to like a better known anniversary, which is Xenoblade 1 on the Wii, which celebrated its 14th anniversary. Man, it just felt so long. Like, well, honestly, 14 years doesn't seem long for a lot of people, but like it's a pretty long time. And man, I can't believe just the whole Xenoblade series just is now like in high school. It's now a teenager almost. So it just kind of blows my mind in a way that to see the series just coming from Xenoblade 1 alone just be like this. And to celebrate, we have Sarah Lane posting on her YouTube channel and other social media platforms a live version of Beyond the Sky in both English and Japanese. I listened to this and my god, I got kind of misty-eyed from this, just watching this video, so...
Oh, I straight up teared up. I listened to it in the car on the way to work when I just saw it posted first thing in the morning, and I was already like getting wispy lips just tearing up in the car. Yeah, it released on June 10 of 2010. That's insane to think about, and for a lot of people are like, wait, wasn't it 2012? Well, I will point out a reminder that the game came out to the US exceedingly late in the Wii's life cycle.
Yep.
It was Japanese exclusive for almost a full year before coming out to Europe and then Australia and then eventually to North America.
Yeah, what a time, honestly. So
yeah, even just going back, like Beyond the Sky was one of my favorites for the longest time. It's up there with even the other ending themes for Xenoblade in my opinion. So I was really happy to see it give it a new breath of life.
Yeah, for sure. Sarah actually posted like right after she posted the video that if it wasn't for Xenoblade, she would have become this professional singer that she could be, and she owes it all to Yasunori Mitsuda. And like I replied to her this tweet saying like her singing it just really just touched so many hearts to many people, and I can't express enough gratitude for her singing and just the way how she expresses herself just with her singing alone. And we owe it all to the composers, especially with the other Xeno games, of how they touched our hearts in general with their music. I even pointed out in the Joanne Hogg video, or MB pointed it out. So all the singers in the Xenoblade series are really good. And like, I can't express enough just how many hearts they just touch with their singing. So I applaud Sarah Lane. If you ever watch my content one day, you'll feel really happy and glad for yourself. I know you already are, but yeah. So, but that's not the only Xenoblade 1 news that we've gotten. So Yasuyuki Hone has posted on Twitter the original like paper mache styled sculptures of the beta versions of the Bionis and the Mechanis that was originally shown off as the pitch for Xenoblade Chronicles back in 2006. And my gosh, just seeing this again, like almost 2 decades after this, just really is, like stands the test of time. How like not only how long paper can just stay where it is, but just how far away this has taken, and like how Yasuyuki Hone has just still kept it in his office just all these years later. It just makes me feel really happy inside that he still remembers just like all the really cool parts of this paper mache sculpture itself. So
Yeah, going back and seeing the designs, especially, I remember seeing the first time I saw that was in some sort of article, or was it even like a
it
gaming
was in
magazine? It was in
Yep,
Iwata
it was in
Asks,
Iwata
yes.
Asks interview.
Yeah,
Yep.
and seeing it for the first time and seeing how it's still standing and you can still make out the fine details of it's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, it's so cool, and like it's just how everything just comes full circle just with this alone, and like I don't know what I don't know. Maybe we can have like a Xenoblade game where we have like a tie-in that has wings sort of like this. Like the Bionis is kind of like similar in its stature, but like these paper mache wings bring out a lot of inspiration in general, and I really like to see that someday. So it's good that Hone posted this. It got a lot of Xenoblade fans excited. So all right, and then let's go on to Xenoblade X news, or no, still no Xenoblade news, Xenoblade X news, even after the shutdown that we had last time. So, yeah, no news for Xenoblade X this time around. Maybe we'll get Xenoblade X news someday. Who knows? I don't know. All right, let's go on to Xenoblade 2 news. So I already mentioned this in my last Xeno news video. But PNP Games is restocking on Torna the Golden Country physical version. But now we have another reseller as well, this time with VGP, who is also a reseller that's also based in Canada, no less. So two like cartridge reprinting companies that are all based in Canada. Yeah, make that what you will. This is actually much cheaper though. It's like $36 USD, so it's really cheap compared to the PNP version. So it's really nice that VGP got this restock of Torna physical version. So now, if anybody wants to complete their collection, go ahead and get this version of Torna. So, do you have a physical version of Torna, Yggdrasiel?
You know, I don't. I actually don't. I've been considering to hop on and get my own physical copy just as a backup, but no, I bought the DLC the first time around back when the game released, and I've been satisfied since.
Yeah.
The reprints do make me happy. I am considering to pick it up. And as a heads up, also related to Xenoblade 2, I think Nintendo had a sale going on, or like a digital sale going on for the Xenoblade, which included the Xenoblade series, excuse me, but it interestingly did not include Xenoblade 2.
Weird.
Only involves Xenoblade 1 and 3.
Weird.
Some people are speculating it has something to do with the fact that Xenoblade 2 is the best selling of the three right now on the Nintendo Switch. So I'm not sure how that quite applies.
I mainly think it's because is Super Mario Odyssey on that sale?
I think it might be. I have to go back and check specifically for that game. I do know it is. I do know a lot of the Prime Nintendo Switch catalog is on there though.
Okay, because I feel like it's because it's not a recent game that Xenoblade 2 wasn't on sale, and they kind of just want to just get as much money as they can just for that alone, whereas 1 and 3 are on sale because they're much more recent games in the series. So,
especially with physical scarcity for Xenoblade 2, because I do believe they are not making new cartridges anymore.
Yeah.
And they're even being pulled off of shelves in some region.
Yeah, well, VGP and PNP Games, there you go. Do more reprints for Xenoblade 2 so we can actually get this. The Torna reprints are nice, but I think it's time to have Xenoblade 2 reprints from VGP and PNP Games. So, yeah, just a heads up, you guys, if anybody works for these companies, sees this video, definitely take note of that.
We do appreciate it, honestly.
Yes, we do. Xenoblade fans really do appreciate it, so. And now, finally, let's go to onto our last news story, which is on Xenoblade 3. And this is with the Uni Figma, which just got recently shown off at Smile Fest in Japan. And it's still in its prototype phase, but you can see a lot more details compared to the original prototype version. And Yeah, you can see that it has a lot more joints than typical Figmas do. It's double jointed, which gives it a lot more articulation. But like from a lot of people that have been saying about this figure, they said it was kind of meh. Really, like they did not like the way the joints looked at all. Like it just felt kind of off to me, especially if you look at the elbows and the knees. I also talked about the Uni figure before and how I feel like it just wasn't very well articulated with the joints. But I feel like it's kind of necessary because like with Figmas that are more like action focused, you would need to have more joints, and it kind of does make sense in that regard. So plus you can easily like hide the joints too. So I have a feeling not a lot of people are gonna be picking this up because of how the joints look. But you know, as a Xenoblade fan I will be picking this up, but I don't know how I'm gonna display it, so I would hide the joints.
I was gonna say,
maybe I can,
don't.
Maybe I can have Uni lay down or something, so you don't see like the ball joints on these. I don't know.
I think it's gonna work out on its own. For one, Uni is definitely pretty well dressed throughout, to the point where I don't think we'll at least see the elbow ones all too often. It depends if how they design the jacket and everything else. I think it's gonna look fine. I think some people are reading up too much into it. It is also still early prototype form that they showed off. I think it's gonna end up being just fine. I think a lot of the disappointment comes from the idea that they seem to sort of want to go for the base artwork pose that Uni has in terms of the setup. But I mean, again, the fact that it is double jointed will mean we can pose up quite well. I do just want to see at least one more update for him, but I'm much the same way. I'm going to most likely have this pre-ordered and sitting on my shelf right along Neo, and I cannot wait for a Xeno one to eventually be released as well or announced.
Yeah, one day. I really hope this isn't a disappointment with a lot of people. Like, I know it kind of doesn't look right for me, but I'm still going to get it anyways and figure out what I want to do with it. So, like, I can express that disappointment too, but, like, I'm sure, like, if we see, like, the non-prototype version of the Uni Figma, it'll look better. So, yep. And with that, that's all the Xeno news. So there's still no merch that I want to be talking about. Like, it's kind of like up in the air right now in terms of what's been going on, because hasn't been any Xenoblade stuff lately, so not a lot of merch is being made for it right now. So maybe I'm just gonna debate on like probably taking it off of future videos until like there's actual like fan merch being made. So I apologize if people are kind of disappointed by that, but for the life of me, I can't really find like any new merch that's out there right now. So, but yeah, that's it for the Xeno news video. So, Yggdrasiel, where can we find you at?
Well, you can find me here right on YouTube. I do have a channel that is a bit on and off, especially with Xeno-related content, but it is there, I promise. Other than that, though, you can find me regularly on X, formerly known as Twitter. I do have a Blue Sky account as well, though I am pretty infrequent there. But you go along with YouTube and X, and you'll hear from me pretty often.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for watching this recent Xeno news video. And until next time,
see you on the other side.